I don't want to bore you with no intro, so let's get straight to it. This is some mistakes to avoid when you first become licensed to become a broker for life insurance or life insurance agent. And first thing first is once you got your license, you got your fingerprinting and everything is done, now you're ready to get the ball rolling. And whoever your upline is, your team leader is, whoever recruits you, whatever agency you're with, they're gonna get you ready on the script. Now, first thing first is don't overwhelm yourself trying to remember everything that's on the script. Just kind of take away a few things, make it your own words, which I'm sure you heard that before, but I'm gonna say it again because it is important. And one of the most important things that you actually want to take away from that script is how they start the conversation. Because if you heard this before, if not, then it's your first time, then hear it. But if you heard it before, then hear it again. The first 15, 30 seconds can either make you or break you. And that is so true because whenever you start something and if you don't sound professional, if you don't sound like you're supposed to call, then they will hang up on you. And that's going to devastate you even more and kind of make you discouraged and give up on the business. And you don't want to do that. So the first thing first is when you actually make a call, especially if it's lead, then you do not want to ask if that's the person that you call in. Say, hey, is this John? You're supposed to say, hey, John, this is, tonality matters, of course, but you still want to do it in a way where you're supposed to be calling that person because they filled out a form. So that's another thing. I'm just getting back to you because you filled out this form requesting, for life insurance, and I'm here to give you that information. So you kind of want to make it seem like you aggressive, but at the same time, you kind of want them to know that you're supposed to be called because they filled out the form, right? It makes sense. So don't overwhelm yourself trying to remember everything from there. Take away a few points from there and kind of turn it into your own word because you will remember your own words more than you would the scripts, and you're gonna scramble all over the place just trying to remember scripts anyway. So, and you're not gonna remember it, especially whenever you call a real client and they're asking you different question. You're just not gonna go over what's on the script, right? Because the script will tell you to say this line and then to say this line. It tells you they reply this way and then you reply this way. It's just not realistic. Even if you have it in front of you, the conversation, the order is not gonna go as you expect on the list. I mean, from the script. So that's kind of the few things, the first things. And then the second thing is when it comes to the role plays are cool. You can take away a few things from them, but it's not an actual thing because it's like, let's say you do role play. Somebody might make it too easy to the point where you like, oh, that's not bad. And when you get out there in the real world, then you're gonna get hit in the face. Or somebody can make it super hard given trying to give objections so that way people, the newcomers, can learn and you'd be like, oh my God, I don't know how to do that. Then you're gonna overworry it again. So one of the most important things for that, another alternative for that is actually to see your upline, the people that have experience, to see them in action. So if there's something like live dials and things like that, that way you'll be able to see when they make call, how they do it and how they started the conversation, how they do the pitch and how they close and things like that. And I do want to add another thing. I don't know if this is, it is important. So let me just add it on there. You need to master a one call close, even if you are new, because with what I learned is when you're trying to reschedule another appointment, these people are not gonna answer back no more. They're not gonna reply to your text. And you heard this before, I'm sure, or if not, then hear it now again. People only think about death once. So whenever they see these ads, whatever they see in it, they like, oh yeah, if something were to happen to me, what would happen to my wife and kids, or what would happen to my grandkids, whatever the case is. They only think about that right after they've seen the video, and they only think about it once. So whenever you call them and you kind of remind them to why they filled out the form, or at least get to know to why they filled out the form, you need to keep making them remember that. And if you actually don't close it right then and then when they're really interested and when they're kind of hot, then you're gonna really hurt yourself. So with that being said, you need to straight up from the get-go need to learn how to master the one call close. And I wasn't told that, so I'm telling you that now. And the next important thing is leads. Nowadays it's kind of hard to find quality leads. Everybody's just acquiring some information one way or another with phone number, date of birth, and full name just to sell them as a life insurance lead. So either you need to become good at to how to generate your own leads, look into that. If not, just make sure do a lot of research before you just purchase lead. I know your agency, your team leader, your upline just gonna try to get you out there so you can be ready by yourself because they don't want to just keep on holding somebody's hand and train them. They just want you to be out there, be better for yourself, and also as you make money, they make money as well. So they want to get you out there, right? So with that being said, just if you don't feel comfortable, just don't go out there, because I know they tell you you learn as you go, as you make the dials and things like that, which is true. But at the same time, if you just kind of don't have no idea, then you really get discouraged. You're gonna get scared and things in that nature. Now, of course, you don't want to just stay, oh, I'm reading, I'm learning, oh, I'm kind of reading the products and things like that, and kind of hold yourself in one place. You do have to take some action, because you can learn this stuff all day. You can watch videos, many videos, but if you don't take action, of course, you're not going to learn. That part is definitely true. But at the same time, you have to be somewhat ready. So if you having a training, a meeting, and you taking training with them and they teaching you over Zoom or whatever, yes, take those information, but once you're done with them as well, do extra more training, whether from YouTube, from everywhere else, because not everybody can teach. Everybody cannot teach. You know, a lot of people think they like, just because they can do the business, they can do whatever it is they're doing, even at a job place. Yeah, do this, but not everybody's a good teacher, right? I think that's everybody can agree with that. So, but when you get to watch different people from YouTube, from them or whatever else, then you'll see people doing it differently. So that way you get to pick up different things. So, with that being said, what have we covered so far? Don't overwhelm yourself trying to remember the scripts. The role plays does help, but it's not the best. So trying to have somebody be like, hey, can I be on a 3-way call or something like that? So that way I get to hear how you do it. If not, is there a call that's been recorded when somebody did a 1-call close? Let me hear it. You keep watching over again. If not, then they actually have video for you, whether you're doing final expense, anything like that, term, mortgage protection. They have people on YouTube that record themselves doing the deal, so that way you get to learn. Keep watching that video. So once you get to the point where you're good at, now as you're making dials and you get to talk, you get to learn how the application system works for each carriers and things like that, then you get better, you feel comfortable, and you start making money. Therefore, from now on, you're just gonna keep getting better. So, and that's another thing as well. Whenever you get contracted with the carriers, make sure you take the time to learn the product. Of course, they tell you not to focus on the product, but why not? You know, if you have the time, make the time for it and learn it, and as well as do the demo application. So that way you're not confused, because I haven't had somebody show me like, hey, this is where you go, this is where you go. Of course, the carriers, they are there. They have support team where you can call them and they'll guide you. But let's say if you were to call somebody and you do an application, and now you never done an application with this carrier, and you don't know where to go, and if it's taking you too long or something like that, they might just say, all right, call me back, and whatever. You know, you just never know. So take the time out and learn the application, how everything works, and at the same time kind of learn how their product works and things like that. So that's another thing. So I hope I covered everything. I just want to talk about this. I think one of the most discouraging thing is the leads. Everybody's just selling leads, and they're not charging them. I mean, they're not selling them for cheap. So that's kind of be a discouraging, because if you're not good at closing, let's say you're purchasing leads and you're not closing this deal, you're not making your money back and some, it can be very devastating. So that's kind of one of the things. I make sure you do a lot of research. A lot of people will just tell you, yeah, don't be afraid to spend money. But at the same time, you need to spend the money right way with the quality leads, because if they're not even somewhat interested, you have to be really, really, really good in order for you to close them. But if they somewhat interested, you can close your first deal, your second deal, and make your money back, even if you average or if you new. Because when I sold my first 2 policies, I didn't know nothing at all. I kind of winged it and did it, but the lady was very interested in life insurance, right? But that's because I did the research and finding in quality leads. So I want to make this video long. If you have any questions, just let me know on the comments, then I'll definitely answer them. If not, I'll do a part 2 to this video as well. So I hope everything was helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.